Hello everyone. Hi everybody. Just want to say something that is heavy on my heart because it has come to my attention that this Palestinian gal came on television last night and she was saying that we are in the era of colonialization. That is the most ignorant comment I've heard for the entire year of trauma. We are not in the era of colonization. This is not a colonization era. The colonization era was the 15th century, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th century, definitely the 15th century was when the colonial era um in the historical period, right? Colonization, she said the Palestinian girl. Okay, first of all, let me tell you why this has come to my attention. The Palestinian girl, first of all, she shaved off all of her head as if she had G.I.J. Now, if you going to come on television and tell black people that we're in the era of we're in a colonization era, you better have cancer. You better be sick and dying from cancer. Because we told you, Palestinians, Gaza have heard it over and over a time. Release the hostages. Release the hostages, Gaza. Release the hostages. That's all you had to do. It was a simple, direct order to release the hostages now. You have a simple and direct order. You heard it from many resources. You were told to release the hostages now. As for Hamas, Hamas has to be destroyed because Hamas is a terrorist organization that does not care about the basic civic rights of the people, of all people, including people around the world. We're not in the colonization era. Okay, this is not the colonial era. Where the Palestinian girl there? Who this? Anyway, show back the Palestinian girl on television. I'm gonna go find her. Like I said, show the Palestinian girl on the television that said that we are in the colonial era. Jesus Christ. Look, we're not in the colonial era. Okay? I have to address this situation because we've come to attention. Look, gal, you don't tell black women in Africa that we're in the 15th century. This is the 21st century. We're in the 21st century. We are not in the era of colonization. Okay? Know your eras. First, we had the Bronze Era. Then we had the Golden Era. Then we had the Silver Era. Then we have the Titanium Era. Though that's not the colonial era. When we talk about eras in history, we talk about the Bronze Era, and then we had the Gold Era, then we had the Metal Era. But these are not centuries of the first century. These are centuries from the from before Christ, the era before Christ. With the era before Christ, we had the Bronze Era, we had Golden Era. Do you understand me? You cannot tell the Russians that we're in the colonization era. We're not in the colonization era. We're in the era of Russians hacking and everything, and they need to be stopped. We're in okay. So honestly, the 21st century. Let's wake up, everybody. We're not waking up in the 15th century. We're not waking up in the dark ages of tunnels. Okay. Now, Palestinians, they can stay in the colonial era with their underground tunnels because they got underground tunnels from weapons of mass destruction. They have underground tunnels. What you doing underground, dude? You don't fight Israel and then have they don't have bomb shelters. They obviously don't have bomb shelters. If Palestinians had bomb shelters, we won't have this problem, right? We won't have this problem. There's no genocide. We won't have a genocide if Palestinians had bomb shelters. They don't have bomb shelters. You know what they have? They have underground tunnels. How do you say that we're in the era? We're not in the era of colonization with all these media coverage. The colonial era had sugar cane and people dying from diabetes. Okay, thanks to to England, thanks to England going crazy over that sugar. They had to colonize slaves, had to colonize sugar, baby, sugar. Black people were out there in the hot sun. Okay, now I could talk about other crops that was colonized, but get your facts straight. We're not in the colonial era started in the 15th century. And that was way past the century when we discovered gold, silver. Okay, gold and silver was like in the 1st century. That was before Christ was born. There are different eras in this world, and we are not in the colonial era. The colonial era is the 15th century. Okay, now I'm just talking over my head, but I can research your facts. Okay, now the reason why I'm saying this because Palestinians is telling this Palestinian girl is literally telling she's white, she's Caucasian, she cut off all her hair. That's not the Palestinian girl. That's not the girl. Put the Palestinian girl on the television. She cut off all of her hair, and then she want to come on television expressing her feelings, which she has a right to. But she's expressing her feelings like she had Jane, and those feelings are, and she is in violation of the freedom, of the rights, the peaceful, the tranquility, freedom and rights of all people of the world. And then she's going to use the colonial era. That's the 15th century. We never had a cell phone in the colonial era. We never had cell phones in the colonial era. The colonial era was discovered after iron and bronze was discovered. After they discovered a marble and all of that stuff. After the Roman empires was discovered. Now they want to talk about the colonial era. The colonial era was when Europeans decided they needed to colonize sugar. They needed more sugar. They needed more sugar plantations. You don't need sugar plantations. We got diabetes. Black people got diabetes. And you're going to talk about we in the colonial era. No, we're not in the colonial era. We are in the era of technology information. Technology information. You don't come on. You don't come on. You're not on black and white television, girl. Okay? Turn on your television. I'm in your cell phone and on your billboard in New York. I'm in a bill. This is how information technology is. I'm on your cell phone recording right now, and I'm also on a billboard in New York. We're in the era of information technology, and the problem is Palestinians were told over and over again, release the hostages, release the hostages, release the hostages, end the terror of Hamas, and release the hostages. We told you over and over again, release the hostages. Release the hostages. Release the hostages. There's a genocide, release the hostages. There's a genocide, release the hostages. That's it. And this terror, why this girl on television? And the war in Gaza. Release the hostages or give us Yahya Sinwar. It's a simple. You have a simple order. You want to eat? You want to eat, or do you want the colonial era of sugar? You want food stamps and sugary stuff. We can send you some more sugar till we find Yahya Sinwar. We can send you all the food stamps that you can get, and we can make you eat lots of sugar if we wanted to. We don't have to use force, do we? We can just poison you to death so we can find the hostages, but we can't do that because we have to find the hostages, right? You're very confident, Palestinians. You're very confident that Israel is guilty of a genocide, and yet you have disgraced the world. You have disgraced the world with colonial ideas. And in the 21st century, we're waking up to information technology. And guess what? Palestinians are cyber bullying the world. We're suffering from cyber bullies. We're in the 21st century, and all we have is digital. God gave us God, not to forget the fact that God gave us all this information technology, all this digital empires. Instead of building on private sectors in the economy, Palestinians are stealing. They're using Israel to steal economic space and growth. Do you understand what I mean? We're stealing. Say it, girl. Palestinians are stealing from our digital economic growth and wasting time with hostages and trying to negotiate. What is there to negotiate in the 21st century? We are not in the colonial era. The colonial era is the 15th century, the 15th to 16th to the 18th century, the 15th to the 18th century. That's the colonial period. When did we have black and white television? Wake up, Palestinians. I am on your cell phone. In Trinidad and Tobago, I'm on your cell phone. And I'm also on a billboard in New York. And you're going to tell me that we're in the colonial era? Israel is not colonial. Israel contributed to the private sector in the economy and gave us a culture, a economic culture in the private sector for economic growth. And you know what? You're going to have to get your president to talk about this. But guess what? Palestinians does not have a president. Palestinians does not believe in the basic rights of all human beings. And this is what America stands for. The basic rights of all human beings. Meaning that if you have a voice, create your platform and speak on your own platform and stop comp and jump on people's platform. Get the freedom of speech. Stay up on your platform and do your thing. And grow your followers. You don't rob other people from freedom of speech. I'm just saying that this really is isolated to a Palestinian mental disorder. Okay? Release the hostages. You do not talk to me unless all the hostages are free. Period. The whole foundation of our education is freedom. And you stole that from us with Hamas. You support Hamas and disgrace the world. Look here. You not telling me that Yahya Sinwar is dead and gone. Where's Yahya Sinwar's body? Where's Yahya Sinwar, guys? Every time I look on the news, I search for the release of a hostage, guys. You are a disgrace to the world. You are shame. And then you glorify Hamas and say we're in the era of colonial. We're not in the colonial era. Unless you want some sugar. Do you want Africans to send you some sugar to eat? Because if you have all this information technology, right, to glorify Hamas as your leader, all this information technology to glorify Hamas as your leader, and I am on a billboard in New York right now from a primitive cell phone that is not even 2025 cell phone. I don't have a 2025 cell phone. I don't have a cell phone of the 2025 year. I don't have a New Year cell phone. I have a ghetto cell phone recording your ghetto ignorant stuff. You know, you are a disgrace. You're a disgrace. Give us Yahya Sinwar. Give us all Hamas leaders. I am only giving you a solution. You're not looking for a solution. You're looking for Israel to give you a colonial era. We're not in the colonial era, honey. Wake up. We're in information technology. The cure for cancer can be found in a digital book. If you go online, you can find recipes for the cure for cancer. If you go online, you can find recipes for the cure of diabetes. We're in a digital era of information technology, and you robbed us of economic growth in the economy. You robbed us of economic growth in the economy. And of course, I will have to research and write a million books about how much Palestinians robbed the world of economic growth and sent them back into the dark ages with cavemen from Russia. Okay? Russia will wipe out Palestinians in a heartbeat. Wake up. Do you know what you have done? We're in the era of information technology. This is the information technology era. We're moving from the 21st century information technology into a digital empire of private sectors in the economy that grows and grows on top of private sectors. Okay? We're supposed to be building digital empires in the economy where we don't have to do nothing but go to the grocery store and buy and get food stamps. But Palestinians destroyed that because guess what? They believe the girl need help to put on her bra and panties. And that is how primitive Palestinians have taken us back. Don't talk. Because I need to find Yahya Sinwar. Where's TV remote? Yes, Yahya Sinwar. Where is Yahya Sinwar? Where is Yahya Sinwar? The disgrace and the audacity that you keep him on our food stamps. And then you kept hostages just to keep Yahya Sinwar. You still have hostages because where's Yahya Sinwar? If there's one hostage left alive, then Yahya Sinwar is the reason why. Because he's alive. Isn't he? And you know what? You are a genocide to information technology and economic growth and progress in the economy. Because I guarantee you, Palestinians, I'm on your cell phone, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on your digital billboards in New York. I promise you on my life, I'm on digital billboards in New York just to prove to you that we're not in the colonial era. We're in information technology era. And if you wanted to find the cure for cancer, you would have Googled it and found you a book. But instead, you wanted everyone to slave after you and bring you food stamps. You wanted some sugar. Palestinians want some eye candy. And that is the colonial era. It's Palestinians who brought us back to the colonial era with all those underground tunnels. Why do you have underground tunnels? Why do you have underground tunnels? Right? And we are in the era of information technology. And I say that because you can buy a book to read. I'm just saying it. Don't get it twisted. Don't you ever destroy what God has given us. God has given us the authority to speak to each other with information technology. God has given us the cure for cancer. God has given us so many cures. And this cure cannot be found. You cannot find the cure. People cannot find the cure for their illnesses without, having all of this information technology. So when we go to the doctor can confirm our research. The doctor can give us a diagnosis of our illness, and then we can get information technology about our illness. But guess what? You have decided to steal from other people's talents. You decide to steal from other people's dreams. You start to steal from other people's goals, and then you decided to keep hostages, and then you keep in Yahya Sinwar. Where is Yahya Sinwar? How dare you talk about the colonial era? I'm a black woman. We're not in the 15th century anymore. The colonial era, that was the 15th, 16th. That was the era when we didn't have black and white television. We're in a digital era. And if you keep this up, I'm going to be on a billboard in New York if you don't stop that disinformation stuff. Ask any black woman. We're in the era of information technology. And don't blame the past for you not having a beautiful dream in the future. That's all I need to say. This is a very traumatic year for us. And I believe that Palestinians need to cooperate to build economic growth in private sectors of the economy and stop trying to expand your terrorism and cyberbullying around the world. Because I am not going. I'm not going to fear you. I have no fear. Because I believe that Jesus Christ gave me digital empire to build on. While you believe in going underground where there's no light, no oxygen. You believe in going underground where cancer cells can hide in the dark and grow. I believe in the cure for cancer because Jesus Christ gave us a digital empire, a digital economy, an information of digital empires around the world. And literally, my problem is, you better pray the Russians don't come to Israel. I'm just saying. Because we are in the era of information technology and private sector economic growth. And if you don't wake up, you will lose the greatest opportunity in the world to have a capitalist market economy. And if you're smart enough, you'll market on this war and leave all your evil ways behind. Because only Israel can save us and remind us of what God has given us. And that is a digital empire, a growth of private sectors in the economy, digital marketing. Instead of going forward and getting information technology and growing in the digital market, no, you just needed more land for sugar. And you traumatizing everybody around the world because you crying for that sugar. Because everybody know you don't eat bitters and okra. But you're just crying for more sugar.